How's it going, everyone? My name is My name is, and here we go with my new versus video. It is going to be between the 1990 miniseries It, again its remake from 2017, and its sequel from 2019. The film is based off a horror novel by Stephen King that came out in 1986. It's about these young kids that live in a small town of Derry in Maine, and they're being terrorized by an evil entity that takes on the form of what they fear the most, so he can try eating them. The kids not only have to find a way to stop this entity, but also kill it before it ends up trying to kill them. Now, unlike many of Stephen King's other novels that eventually got their own film on the big screen, this one did not. It actually got made into a miniseries and was premiered on ABC from November 18th to the 20th in 1990 of November. And it was a success. It was a bit of a risk by ABC since they didn't really show horror content on their network. But it was not only a big success, but both part 1 and part 2 ended up getting over close to near 30 million viewers watching the both part 1 and part 2. And it wouldn't be in 2017 when we actually get the remake, which ended up not only being a big success, but eventually led to its sequel in 2019, which has a bit of a mixed reaction, but I actually still think it's a great sequel and a good way to finish it all off. But I think its only problem is it went on very long. Alright, so let's focus on first the plot, then we'll go into the characters, and then we'll go into the special effects, the music, the setting, you name it. So, both plots for the miniseries and the remake are cut into two parts. Where we see in the miniseries, part 1 focuses on the kid actors, but it also goes to the adult actors. We see them, the adult actors, going on with their lives. They get a phone call from their friend who tells them that it has returned, and they have a flashback to what happened in their childhood. We're introduced to each of these characters, their personality, what they're like, and then their encounters with it, how they all end up becoming friends, and they all realize they're being hunted by the same monster and they have to work together in order to stop it. While the second part of the miniseries focuses the rest of the story on the adult actors, their arrival back to Derry, their encounters with it, and how they have to finish it off once and for all. Now, the remake, though, goes in a different direction with its first part, where it focuses on the child actors. We do not go to the adults. They're not flashing to their childhoods. It's just focusing on the kids, which I actually don't mind. I actually like this because we are given more time with these kid actors. We're seeing the interaction they have with one another, how they are like, and their encounters with it, how they become friends, they have formed a strong bond, they have to work together to stop it. While its sequel is a lot like part 2, where it focuses on the adult actors and they have to find a way to finally finish off this monster once and for all. Alright, so both the miniseries and remake, they do a very good job with their stories, and how they're both a little similar in some ways. And they do a very good job introducing us to the characters. While we'll see what they're going on with their personal lives, we see the monster stalking them. My only problem with the first part of the miniseries is the fact that we keep flashing back and forth with the adults and the kids, the adults and the kids. While the remake, it focuses more on the kids. We're not flashing to the adults. We don't get introduced to the adults until the second part, until the sequel. And that's what I actually like. I actually prefer that we focus this film on the kids, see what they're like, and how their lives have been affected by this monster. Now, yes, both part 2 of the miniseries and the sequel of the remake, they don't do exactly a good job in some ways with their story. Again, I think it's mostly because of how long the sequel went with its film. While part 2, I think it suffers more with the adult actors. The adult actors in the miniseries were not that good. I actually thought they were not as good as the kid actors, which is strange because normally when you have a film involving kids, the kid actors don't do as well as the adult actors. But no, the roles were reversed here, and also the way it ended was a bit of a letdown. Now the sequel, with its ending, actually did a much better job, and I like how well it went, and I felt it was a more satisfying ending than we got with the miniseries. Now, yes, both the original and remake, I wish they gave us a little bit more of a background with Pennywise. I wish we got to learn more about it, maybe even include the cosmic turtle like I thought they were going to do. Nonetheless, I did feel that the remake with its story for both the first and sequel did a much better job than the miniseries in both keeping the audience interested in what's going on, but also doing a good job in keeping it balanced with the fear, the comedic and touching moments, all balancing each other out, all coming in the right time, the right moment, without ruining the tone for each scene that they're playing in the film. Alright, well, what about the characters? They actually have very good actors playing the role of these characters for both the miniseries and the remake. I actually like the kid actors a little bit more because, again, you can tell there was a lot more of a bond with them. You can tell that they do care about one another, they're looking out for one another, and they do a very good job when they need to look scared or try to, fight back. I actually do like that. And Tim Curry, man, I love him as Pennywise, a dancing clown. I thought he was the most entertaining part of the film. As far as the adult actors, though, man, I just didn't really get that at all. I felt very disappointed with with the adult actors, and they didn't do a great job. Now, the kids for the remake, they did a great job too. I actually like how well these kids did. They did a great job playing off one another, having great comedic moments, and showing how they're very good friends. I actually liked it a lot. And when they need to be terrified, oh my god, they do a very good job at it. As far as the adult actors for the remake, I think they did a little better job than the original. Mostly because of the fact I did feel like they actually had a little bit better chemistry than the adult actors had for the miniseries, and they did have a lot more memorable moments. I mean, granted, James McAvoy, I don't think he did that much of a best job, but I felt that Bill Hader and James Ransone did a very good job. The chemistry between the two is fun, it's entertaining, and the kid actors playing their younger versions did such a great job. But in my view, Bill Skarsgård was the star. He did an amazing job as Pennywise. I love how Pennywise in this remake is so terrifying. He's so intimidating. Now, granted, Tim Curry as Pennywise was entertaining as hell, but this Pennywise was the star. I loved him. Bill did such a great job with this, and truly the remake did a great job with their actors. So yeah, awesome work. Alright, well, that being said, what about the special effects, the music, the setting? How is all that? Well, the setting for both films I liked a lot because they shot this in a small town, which means you don't need to create this town. You need to waste so much money building these buildings. You can just use a small town and shoot your film in that, and I think they did a great job with it. And they didn't need to make so many changes to it. They just need to make it look a little, 80s or 50s, however they were setting their films in. And I think the only thing you need to change is just the vehicles and some of the devices you use in those time periods. But once we get to the adult actors, once we get to the modern time, where we see them going up against the clown once and for all, you don't need to do anything. You just need to have it set in modern time. So I did like how the remake and the miniseries did a great job with that. Now, as far as the the lair of Pennywise and where they're shooting the scary moments in the film, I think the remake did a better job with it because we get to not only see the kids going to this creepy, scary house, which I think that is where Pennywise would live, but also down this dark tunnel and see where we fight it in its lair. And the sequel where its real lair is at, where he crashed to the planet, I thought it looked pretty cool, looked nicely shot. I mean, granted, at times, yeah, it looks a little fake as hell, but I didn't really mind it. So I think the remake did a better job with how they shot their setting. Now, as far as the special effects is concerned, the miniseries, granted, I have a bit of mixed feelings about the miniseries. You have to remember, this came out in the 90s, so their special effects were not that great. Like, for example, where the clown pops out from the shower floor, and then him escaping through the small sewer hole, and then revealing his true spider form. Yeah, it didn't age very well. Now, for the remake, though, the special effects at the time, yeah, you could tell they're fake. However, they still did a good job, making Pennywise look intimidating. A lot of the stuff he did looked scary as hell. and the makeup they had for Pennywise compared to how Tim Curry's makeup looked, I think they did a better job with how they made Pennywise. I think another good example of how they use their special effects well was the projector scene where they're in their garage and Pennywise appears, and it's just, oh my god, that is terrifying. Now the sequel, of course, yes, granted the sequel special effects did, there was a lot of stupid moments, especially, you know, Pennywise when it reveals his spider form, but looked a lot better than the miniseries, so yeah, not that bad. Richard Bellis actually was the composer for the original film, and I think he didn't do a bad job. I like the music he made and how he made it for also Pennywise as well. Although I have to say, I think the musical score for the remake did a better job. Benjamin Wolfish, love the music he played. I love the music we get. There are the creepy music that he plays, but also there's the calming music as well. A good example of that is one called Every 27 Years, where it stops off very creepily, this little girl singing, and then we hear a very nice gentle piano music being played. Both films, in my view, did a decent job with their setting, their special effects, their music, but when it comes down to it, the remake, I have to say, had more money, so they were able to do more than the miniseries could, and they were able to you have better technology than back then the miniseries had. How they shot it with the special effects, their setting, the music, did a better job. So yeah, the miniseries, it's basically the remake won all of this, and there was no question about it. But I will say this, the miniseries is still a good film, not only for it being entertaining to watch, but I felt it was a lot better than the book in certain ways, because I don't think there's a lot of stuff in it that you could put in there in a live action film, because there's certain stuff in there that is pretty crazy. The remake, I think it's a great remake. They did a very great job with it. They not only did a great job telling their stories, but also with their characters as well. And I really am happy with how well Hollywood's been using some of their doing their remakes and sequels for Stephen King's works. I wish that they would focus more on that, not try to go full crazy or Dark Tower way. Just try to keep it fun, try to keep it scary, but also keep it very entertaining. They show that you can make a good remake as long as you'll try cramming so much stuff into it. You just focus on entertaining people, keeping them interested in what's going on, and keep people invested. Now, don't get me wrong, the original film is still fun. I love it. I highly recommend watching it. It has its moments, both fun and a little scary depending on the age you watch. However, if you want scary, I recommend checking out the remake. Just please don't have your kids watch it, because they're going to be terrified for life if you do that. So, yep, that's pretty much it, guys. If you have a different opinion about this, leave some comments below. Let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button, check out my Facebook page, check out my Twitter page, check out T3 Media, and subscribe to their channel, keep updated with the videos. Thank you so much to T3 Media for letting me upload my video on their channel, and also for letting me write my review on their website. You can check out my written review. It will be on the video and also hopefully on the link down below. So until then, guys, take care, be safe, love you all, goodbye, and remember, they all float. That sucked. I'm sorry. Bye.